the Latino and Hispanic is not a terminologies that people like me embrace necessarily. Is people like me don't embrace these terms because white people identify also as Latino and Hispanic. And if I identify as Latino and Hispanic as white presenting people do as well, it becomes problematic. It becomes so the Latino voice, the Latino imagery, the Hispanic imagery, the Hispanic voice, if it's a white presenting person, that means that you are my voice too.
Right.
That is the biggest problem to indigenous people because it's almost like if you, being a black American, uh, if you just identified as American, if a white person was the representation of the American and they also represented you, meaning they are your voice too, they're gonna misrepresent. Not only that, they will suppress your voice because your voice should be a unique voice that applies to black people and their struggle. You understand?
Okay, hold on. I understand, but I feel like I'm sorry, this is blowing my mind. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah, that's
like you're
cool.
saying that my white Spanish friends are like one of my best friends right now is Mexican, but he's white presenting,
Okay.
and he's like refusing to hear this. But it feels like you're saying that they are working in tandem with the oppressors to suppress your voice or the dark skin.
First, let's go back to what you said. You said these white presenting Hispanics, are they working with oppressor? No,
Okay.
they are the oppressor. They're not
Ah!
working with, they are that. They are that. They are the colonizer, but in Latin America. They are that. They are that. They're no different. They're European descent. They're European people that are descendants of Europe that came here when the colonizers arrived here. They're not working with the oppressor. They are that. What to you white folks are here, to us in Latin America, as you call them, white presenting Latinos, they are the same to us over there. They're the white people there. To you, as a black woman, when you see white folks here, white Americans, to us, indigenous people, when you see the white presenting Spanish speaking, those are what to you are white people here. To us.
I think okay, it just that really shocked me. I think it's because growing up around white people, even if you were a white presenting Mexican, there was a still full rejection of you. Full rejection. If you spoke Spanish, full rejection. So that's kind of
Course.
why I always saw them as like a minority, an oppressed minority. But now I
Mhm.
understand.
I thought it was important that you brought up your white presenting Hispanic friends because they are the white people in Latin America. Now, what you said is true. You said that, but wait, Ricardo, I see a lot of white presenting Mexicans who are discriminated against by white people. Yeah, that's how effed white people are. That they discriminate their own people because of the language that they speak. An example, you have the video that I told you to go watch. The I don't want to be white. This white woman has been living as a white person, been treated as a white woman her whole life. But the minute she opens her mouth because she speaks Spanish, white folks will be like, "Oh, wait, you're not white. You're Hispanic." You see, is there discrimination? Of course there is. But this discrimination goes back before even Europeans arrived here. The English and the Spaniards in Europe already didn't like each other before they even arrived here. This is a
Right.
war that they've had before they came here. They didn't like each other already, So when you see the white folks here who reject white folks that speak Spanish, that's none of our business. That's their issues that they've been having for centuries. And I'll give it, and I'll put it to you like this: when white presenting Hispanics that speak Spanish side with us because white people discriminate against you, that doesn't mean you're us, though. That doesn't mean you're
Right.
us.
And
It's
they
just the fact that you've been at war with these people way before you arrived here. That's your problem with them. That doesn't make you us because in our countries in Latin America, you are them.
right.
You are them. But now that you came to their country, now you're being discriminated against. Hey, that doesn't make you us all of a sudden.
Oh,
No,
right.
no, hell no. But anyway, with
Thank-
that said, let's go back to the original topic. So if the imagery of the Hispanic is the white presenting Spanish speaker, is because obviously, just like the white man in this country is in control of our macro media, and they have presented the imagery to be the white standard of beauty, white has become the standard of beauty. Well, in Mexico, in Central America, in Latin America, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. When people outside of the United States, in other countries in Asia, when they think of American, do they think of you?
No,
What do they think of?
think of Donald Trump.
They think of a white guy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. So, and why? Why is this? Because due to the macro media pushing the narrative that the American is white in Latin America, the imagery that the white people there push to represent Mexico and these Latin American countries are white presenting Spanish speaking people, just for the same reason that the white people in this country push that the American, when you think of a proud American, you see a white guy with the a hat in a USA flag, all that good stuff, right? And so it's the same thing over there. It's the same thing. Like you think of today, what is the most famous modern proud Mexican boxer today?
Oh, I don't know. I don't follow boxing.
Okay, okay, okay. Either way, it's Canelo Alvarez. It's a white guy,
Oh,
right? So nobody has a problem. Nobody in Mexico has a problem with the white presenting person being the image of Mexico. Nobody has a problem. Nobody. But now, if we had someone that looked like you, that was from Mexico, there's no way that they're going to uplift this person and say this is a great representation of a Mexican. No way. One of the individuals that came up, he brought up Lupita Nyong'o. You know who that is?
of course, yeah.
Is she Mexican?
Yes, she claims to be Mexican, but most people accept her as African.
Uh, most
Right.
people accept her as African.
Yep.
You said it all.
Yeah.
She's Mexican, just like me. We're from the same country. If she got the same treatment as this white presenting boxer that is so uplifted and praised in Mexico, if we had the same energy towards a Mexican that was representing us, they would have grabbed Lupita Nyong'o and uplifted her. Here is somebody who we can be proud of as a country because she is successful and is Mexican. But you see, nope, 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 nope. Not only did they didn't even care about acknowledging her, but they stepped on her by saying she's not a real Mexican though.
Right.
But that white guy though, orgullo mexicano meaning Mexican pride.